see here your about the turning or the lathe machine. Okay, so turning, then about lathe machine, you have to prepare a small write-up over here like this, including the diagram. Okay, so this lathe diagram you already have done, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So if you have done this lathe diagram, then not required to draw again this lathe diagram. But if you do, that will be better, and do it more descriptively. So as it is being done over here with a lot of components shown on the diagram. Okay, so as much as the number of components you will show on the diagram, the clarity of the diagram will be definitely better. So if possible, do this descriptive diagram. You can see how big this diagram is. Okay, and then different types of lathe machine and different parts of lathe machine. So all about the lathe machine, the description that is being over here. Okay, so small description over here about the tools and equipments required or the accessories required with various lathe operations like this chalk key, tool post key, vernier caliper. These are the knurling tool. So other tools like your single point cutting tools, HSS tools, those which you have used during various lathe operations that you can draw and show in the diagram also. Okay, and about them you can write one or two lines. Okay, so that will be enough. So tools and equipments likewise. Okay, and various lathe operations, about lathe operations, one or two lines each. So that will be enough. Okay, so this much you do, and selection of a lathe machine, this is that much you can write. Very small content is over here, this you can write. Accessories, a lot of accessories are there, but out of which only 4 accessories are being mentioned over here, which is not a big task to mention in your record. So you can write these things, and more about the lathe machine that is already there in your book. So book has been shared in with you, isn't it? Book has been shared, students.
No, sir. I guess.
No, sir.
Only a PDF has been sent.
No, sir. No books.
Okay, so today I will share a soft copy of the book of WhatsApp technology in the Google Classroom. Okay, in the Google Classroom I will share that one, and definitely you will be getting
Sir,
benefited out of it. Yes.
sir, can you please repeat it after the diagram, sir? I've got disconnected that time, sir. Please.
Diagram you have to do it clearly. So this big diagram what you have seen earlier, this one,
Yes, sir.
this
Yes, sir.
diagram. This diagram you can see the better you do, more clarity in the different components and parts will be. Okay, so as you do the diagram descriptively, that means showing more and more number of components and parts of the machine, detailed structure, that will be beneficial for you. Okay, so as in detail you will do the things, definitely the concept of and this concept about the structure of a lathe machine and various operations related to it, that will be very clear. Okay, so uh, I have the assignment which you have submitted earlier regarding what about the lathe machine description. In that, many of you have done very short diagram. So very less number of components or the major components only you have shown, like the headstock, tailstock, bed, and stand. These things are only mentioned. Okay, so what are more are there in the headstock? What are more there in the carriage or the tool post? What are more are there in the tailstock? So detailed structure, if you do with a better diagram, that will be very beneficial. So what is I am saying, doing many diagrams will not be that much of fruitful. If you do this single diagram very carefully with a little bit more time taken, then the outcome will be better. Understanding will be good. That is what I have said. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So up to over here, you have to write. Okay. up to about the specification of the lathe you have to write, and the remaining like aim of the experiment is at the end up to over here specification of lathe machine. This up to this you can write, and aim of the experiment you already have submitted with an assignment, isn't it? So this you didn't this this is not required then. Okay, so up to over here you prepare a write-up similar to this one. Okay, so better you present the writing, better will be your gradings. Okay, so
Sir, we will start writing.
Sir, then today,
I will send this format also.
okay, sir.
I will upload this.
Sir, till when we have to submit?
Topic.
15 days time will be enough. What do you think?
Okay, sir. Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll
Yes, sir.
give you-
15 to
I'll
20
give you-
days.
Okay, I'll give you 10 days. Is it okay?
Okay,
So
sir.
15 days was better.
Sir,
Sir,
15 days.
presentation. We have a presentation now.
Yes, on yes, sir. The Saturday.
Yes,
Sunday
sir.
Today is
presentation.
23. Today is 23rd March. So I expect
Till sir 7 of April.
7th of April.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that will be
14
good.
days. Okay, sir.
Okay, 7th of April, that will be good. So up to 7th of April, I will give the time, and I will post a link in Google Classroom so that you will submit this PDF format. Okay, so that will be in the name of lab record, turning section lab record.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is up to you. That how many drawings you include in the writing, how many contents you include in the writing, that is up to you. So this is a format only to take this as a reference. Okay, and a book will be there with you, and definitely internet is there, so many more other concepts and more concepts you can get it from there, so that you can include it in the write-up, in the record, and more the writing, definitely your knowledge will be enhanced, and finally you will be very much eligible for appearing the Viva voice finally. Okay, so that will be beneficial. More you read, more you write, more the knowledge you will gain, isn't it? So considering that one, you just prepare these records and try not to exceed maximum of 15 pages. Okay, so more, I am not saying that this is the only thing which you will do, because other subjects are there for which you should give the time also. So within 15 days, just prepare 15 pages. Okay, that will be good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This cover page will be there. This cover page will be there. So one cover page and 14 write-up pages. One cover
Sir, we
page.
can make cover page in MS Word or MSL.
Okay. That you do. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Cover page you prepare with MS Word, and if you like, and decorate it. Give your introduction, your name, roll number, everything. Okay, and save your file in the format I will include in the instruction list in the Google Classroom. I will give the instruction list, how to prepare the format and how to name the file. Okay.
सर सेम ही मतलब लिखना है ना, सेम चीज ही लिखना है ना जो इसमें है पीडीएफ में, सेम टाइप का है मतलब.
Same type, हाँ, same type.
From this and
सबका same लिखोगे तो that will be not fair, isn't it?
Sir, we will write in rule set page or blank.
हाथ से लिखना है, हाथ से लिखना है.
हाँ सर, लेकिन रूल पेज या
प्लेन पेज पे हाथ से लिखना है और उसको स्कैन करना है.
तो सर ये राइटर है या लैब रिकॉर्ड है?
ये लैब रिकॉर्ड है.
Okay, sir.
एम क्या है सर?
हाँ?
एम
एम
वाला पार्ट तो हम लोग लिख लिए है ना, ये
हाँ
ऊपर
हाँ,
वाला
एम नहीं लिखना है, एम ऑफ द एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं लिखना है.
सर तो मतलब आज कुछ नहीं लिखना है क्लास में.
मैं क्लास में आज कुछ नहीं, आज तुम्हारा
ठीक है.
टोटल सेक्शन शुरू होगा.
Okay, sir.
ओके.
Sir,
So your yes,
sir, from the sample we will just follow the
format.
and what we have to write, it is up to us.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Actually, basically, you have to write about lathe machine. You have to write about lathe machine. That is all. Okay, about lathe machine, about its components, and about its operations, and various tools and accessories required. So about that only you have to write. Okay, that is your turning section. That is all about your turning section.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And I will ask everybody should go through these contents, and also whatever their contents in the book also. So let me open the book also for you. Let me show you the book. So the book is shared with you. Book is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is your introduction to basic manufacturing processes and workshop technology. So this book also I will share in the Google Classroom. Okay. So you can see here in the content. These are the content pages. Content pages are visible.
Yes, sir. Visible.
So on the 21st chapter you have lathe machine. On the 21st chapter you have the lathe machine. Okay. So other sections like this fitting section is also there. This welding section is also here, and the sheet metal section is also here. Okay. So all these sections are there in this book. So you have to go one by one for different sections. Okay. And other than this, if you read a little bit about these materials, ferrous materials and non-ferrous materials here over, only ferrous material, that will be also enough to appear some side questions in the Viva voice test. Okay. And here over, properties and testing of metals. This is also required, the general knowledge which you must require to get into the workshop. Okay, so these two chapters I will add to your learning end. Okay, so these ferrous materials and the properties of testing of metals. Okay, so on these two things you will know very much things about the raw materials and how they are being worked with. Okay, so these two part will help you, and then these four sections, and these sections will be required to learn one by one. So you have completed the turning section. So turning section, that means this lathe machine part, which is on the page 404. So that you have to go through. So let me open that chapter. Metal cutting. Then we have the, yes, this is chapter 21, lathe machine. Okay, just see, lot of things are there. So read all these things. This will help you to appear the Viva questions at the end, definitely. So, and you also take some of the contents of your own choice. If you think these are important to write in the record, then you can mention them in the record also. Okay, that is up to you.
Okay, sir.
What you want to write, that is up to you, because we know that this is not the only subject you have. You have already too many subjects to read throughout the semester. So, but you can give a little bit of time on this. Okay, so that I expect. Okay, so see this detailed diagram of a lathe machine, central lathe machine, detailed diagram. So if you can do, so this diagram you don't have to print or copy paste. You have to do it on hand. Hand drawn diagrams are required on the record.
So no screenshot.
No. Whatever you do on the record, everything should be on hand. Own handwriting is required. Own hand drawn drawings is required. Likewise. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Finally, you have to scan and upload.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, how many minimum components do we have to draw?
That is there in the format, na? According to format, you can follow or you can increase a little bit. But I am expecting if you concise your writing within 15 pages, that will be enough.
Okay, sir.
Okay, done.
Okay, sir.
So a lot of things are there. You can see here about the lathe machine, and more also you can search it in the internet also if you want to involve yourself more in the subject matter. So a lot of things are there. So there is no deficiency of the material and knowledge part. Okay, how much you acquire, that is up to you, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
See, lot of things are there. So I am closing over here. Let us see our next teacher whether he has joined or not. Let me ask or query it. So these two things, this record and this book, I will upload in the Google Classroom. Okay, you don't worry. Today I will upload. So students, here our Sanjay Sethi sir is present with us. He will be giving the introduction to sheet metal work. Okay, Sanjay sir, please respond.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, sir. Which class?
Okay, okay, I am coming. ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଚାମ୍ବର ପଳେଇ ଆସି ମୁଁ ଆସୁଛି।
আরে দাঁড়াও না। কি
So students, PPT is visible?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now sorry, we'll continue. Now,
सर इको कर रहा है।
हाँ
सर एक तो बहुत हो रहा है सर।
हाँ, वो ready कर लो। ठीक है, अभी ठीक है?
यस सर अभी नहीं कर रहे।
So, very good afternoon, dear students. Myself Sanjay Shetty.
मॉर्निंग सर।
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
Okay.
sir.
Good afternoon. Today we look the PPT means this is our second experiment in the Bms Lab. You know Bms Basic Manufacturing System Lab. So this second experiment, second section name is sheet metal work. The sheet metal section. Okay. Look, the first thing, what is sheet metal work? Yeah, what is sheet? You know, sheet is a thin metal piece which has some thickness and cross-sectional area is larger. So any type of metal you can prepare a sheet. So here, sheet metal work is a deforming process because you have already the form. Once again, you deform any type of shape. That's use of different tools or machines. Either applying the pressure. That pressure may be some machines, hydraulics and pneumatic, some pressure. Otherwise, hand tools like as a hammer, mallets, etc. So applying some amount of pressure, if you change the shape, a flat surface to different surface, because sheet is always in the flattened surface. Okay, in the plane. So, but the thickness is less. Thickness means here, if your metal piece has high thickness, area is larger, means area means cross-sectional area. So that metal name is plate. But which has small thickness means thin, very thin metal piece, and area is larger, is called as sheet. So with this sheet, will design many types of product. So basically, which type of product is used on in the next slide we'll discuss. So here, sheet means which has less thickness and large cross-sectional area is known as sheet. Sheet metal work is a deforming process. In this process, metal sheets are designed very different types of shape by the applying of pressure with the different tools, equipment or machines. Okay, so now you look, sheet is usually specified. Specified means how the specification of sheet means how to express that this is a sheet or plate, because three type of thing will get one is plate, another is sheet, and then foil. Okay, so high thickness means if your sheet, if your metal piece has higher above the 4 millimeter thickness is known as plate. Less the 4 millimeter thickness is known as sheet. Okay, so it is usually specified with less thickness and large size of cross-sectional area. So that particular thickness should be, if you define, if you express in number, so then we'll follow the gauge conversion table, gauge number. Okay, so now the sheet metal are applied in many industry. Many industry means basically automobile sector. You look your car body cover, bus body covers, automobile flooring, internal design. There will get some amount of sheet. Is the maximum sheet is used there. Basically roof, bus, cars, roof have prepared overall sheet. Aircraft manufacturing, so they are also use a sheet. So basically aluminum sheets are used there. Railway, there is a iron or GI sheet used there. Ship and fabrication work like your machine cover, roof, tank, container, boxes, furniture, utensil, etc. So many more of uses of sheet in your manufacturing industry. So if you have if in your home, there will get your grills, gate, almirah, prongs, boxes, oil can, water can. Means your entrance is also prepared by sheet. That sheet name is stainless steel sheet. Okay, so here different types of sheet is available in the market. For uses is different, that depend upon you. What kind of sheet you will use for what purpose? Okay, so now, so sheet. Many types of sheet is available, like your iron sheet, copper sheet, tin sheet, your lead sheet, your GI sheet. Many sheet is available. So, but here for your experiment, you will use a sheet that name is GI sheet. So now, what are different sheet metal operation? Okay, if anybody has any doubts, they can ask me questions. So no problem. No issue. Okay, it's clear. So now you look.
Yes.
Sheet metal operation. Operation means you have already completed a sections. They are called as a lathe section with turning section. There are many type of operation you perform, and you prepare a cylindrical job. Like is your knolling, chamfering, plane turning, step turning, tapering, threading, etc. Same thing here. So different operation means working procedure you will perform during the preparation of your experiment. So the name is, first operation name is measuring and marking. Okay, and second blanking, third notching, fourth bending, next hemming, then seaming, riveting and soldering. So step by step we will discuss about this operation on the next slide. So here the following operation will perform in our lab during preparation of our experiment. So now types of sheet. Look, many types of sheet is available here, but not certain kind of sheet is fixed. Here we look, many types of sheet are used that depend upon you ask what kind of sheet will use in our experiments. Just example, in your automobile sector, basically they are used two types of sheet. One is iron sheet, another is GI sheet. Third one is aluminum sheet. Three types of sheet used in automobile sector. But aluminum sheet is specially used in your aircraft manufacturing. And next, copper sheet. Basically, copper sheets are used in electrical industry. And the panel boards, earthing plates, etc. prepared by copper sheet. Tin sheet. Tin sheet is used in the tin industry, like your auto tank, oil tank, yeah, your roof, basically industrial roof are prepared by tin sheet, and your cans are prepared by tin cans are prepared by tin sheet, etc. Next, lead sheet. Lead sheet means is your basically used in chemical industry. And another last one is alloy sheet. Alloy sheet means a composite materials, one or two or more materials mixed and prepared with certain kind of materials called as alloy sheet. So stainless steel is one of them, and fiber sheet is also used in automobile sector in our many more area. So okay, so following types of sheet is available in our market. So what kind of sheet you will use, that depend upon. Okay, but here you look. Two numbers GI sheet are used for our experiment, so it is the darkened. So GI means galvanized iron sheet. Galvanized iron means is a zinc coated iron sheet. It's basically rust protected sheet. So we'll use here a white color, a gray colors, which has. So now we look. This is a very important thing because sheet or plate are defined for the thickness. So here, how will specify a sheet? Now you look, metal sheet are specified by SWG. SWG means standard wire gauge. Actually, standard wire gauge is the instrument name. The circular type black color instrument is here. The name is standard wire gauge. We look. There is a many number of slot is available, and that slot is a number by 0 to 30. Okay, so that slot means 30 or 36 here, look clearly. So there the slot means when you check a sheet thickness, the slot, which slot is fitted on the thickness of the sheet, that sheet thickness is that gauge number. So it is unit is gauge number. Look, so 10 gauge to 30 gauge numbers are applied on sheet. So here, why one gauge is not applied on sheet? Now, first I told that. Say your high thickness is not sheet, it's a plate. So 10 gauge means here 3.251 millimeter to annual. 30 gauge number 0.3 millimeter to scholars sheet. So above is scholars plate and 0.32 onward is scholars foil. So this is Gauss conversion table. It has already converted. If you purchase some sheet from the market, some shop, there you ask how many thickness you want. So if you told is a 24 gauge, then if you gauge you express in gauge number, no? Then if you want to convert it, then 24 gauge is how millimeter? 0.55 millimeter. Okay, the thickness is okay. So this gauge conversion is very important thing. If you want to convert in the millimeter, then you follow this gauge conversion table. Okay, so if anybody asks in the Viva or sessional time, okay, how will you specify a sheet? Means what is the specification of sheet? Simply we will answer there. Okay, sheet means a sheet metal are specified by SWG. So according to the gauge conversion table, 10 gauge to 30 gauge is known as sheet. A simple answer. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes.
So now next we look. I'll show one step by step some Tools and equipment, so tools and equipment is very important things, because if you are preparing something, so there you must require tools. Without tools you can't prepare anything. So in the BMS lab and workshop, so tools is very important. For this experiment, for the sheet metal section, what kinds of sheet you have required, I'll look here. So first one is a measuring tools. The measuring tools name is steel rule. But you used in the turning section, the measuring tools, that name is vernier caliper. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And in the Viva, somebody asked, okay, what kind of measuring tool you use in the turning sections? So their name is vernier caliper. But in the sheet metal, what kind of measuring tool you use? Steel rule. You look, the stainless steel is prepared by stainless steel, are made of stainless steel. It has many numbers available. 1, 2, 3, 4 means is the centimeter. Lower part 1, 2, 3 is the inches. And the millimeter subdivision line is millimeter. 1 centimeter and 10 millimeter means 10 division is there, so it's called as 10 millimeter. If you measure millimeter, how will measure? 1 centimeter is 10 millimeter, means there is 10 division line. So 1 division line is 1 millimeter thickness. Then by the steel rule you measure. Least count of this instrument means minimum accuracy of measurement is 0.5 millimeter. This question is somebody asking the Viva, simple answer. But the least count of steel rule, what the minimum accuracy of the steel rule? That's 0.5 millimeter. Okay. So now,
Yes, sir.
another measuring instrument name is measuring tape. So what is the difference between a steel and measuring tape? No, both are same measuring instrument. But if you want a small type of work, if you're doing some small project, their requirement is a small amount of measurement, there you will use steel rule. If your sheet is a larger and a large type of measurement you have required, so there you will use measuring tape. So two measuring instrument you will use in the BMS lab for the sheet metal section. One is steel rule, another is measuring tape. Okay. So now the third number of tools is here. Scriber. You look, it has 2 point. 2 point is very sharp, means like as a pin type of. So what is the function by uses of these tools? A sheet is a metal sheet. So on the metal sheet, if you draw some lines, and you want to that line should be permanently, because on the sheet, if you draw by the pen on the sheet, there it is erasable. Okay, so it will may be difficult during the work. So if you want to permanently draw a line, so to the scriber, you draw a scratch line, and that scratch line will be permanently kept. Okay, so scriber is for the marking purpose. Draw the line is on the surface of metal sheet. It is used. So next tools name is divider. Choose the divider. Look, here is no pencil is available. Both point is here, and it is a spring type divider. You look, it's automatically open. When you lose the knots is there. So you look, here is a nut. So if you lose, then the divider will open and will tight. They will close. So here, what purpose you use for the divider? If you draw some circle, arc, and also check the distance between 2 points of a sheet on the surface of sheet metal, then you use the divider. And next, very important, most useful tools here. Look, the name is tri square. Is used during your preparation of experiment, because your experiment your name is to prepare a square tray. Square means a tri square means it has already fixed a right angle, means 90 degree. You look, this brown color part name is beam, BEAM, and it's the gray color's name is blade. Okay, so If you want to check the perpendicularity means 90 degree or squareness of a job of a sheet, there we'll use this instrument. The name is tri-square. Okay, step by step I will explaining. In the Viva, you mind it, and in the Viva you tell them. Next instrument name is anvil, ANVIL. Look, it is a very important tools on the BMS Lab because it is a main supporting tool, the BMS Lab, because it's a very heavy material. It is a minimum 25 kg to onward 200 kg is available in the market. We have also a 1.5 kg anvil, many number of anvil in our workshop. When you come in the offline classes, then if you want to see the anvil, so many instruments, then you'll come to BMS Lab. I will show you. Okay, so here very hard materials because is a prepared as a 99% is a raw iron, means pure iron is prepared, and overall body is covered by cast steel or cast iron. So it is very strong. It has many parts name. You look horn, table, face, addy hole, feature holes, heel, body. It's a many parts name. According the operation is you will use the different parts. Suppose you look this horn. This horn is used for the preparation of bending. Like bending means, but if you want a flat sheet to make a conical shape, yeah, round shape, there you use the horn. Table is a cutting purpose. If you want to metal cutting, sheet cutting by the chisel, you can use the table surface. Face is all type of marking, cutting, striking purpose. This surface will use. You look, it has two hole. One is square hole. The name is hardy hole. Another is pitcher hole or punching holes, the round holes. So if you want to make a hole on the sheet, then you'll use these two holes. If you want to make a square hole, square hardy hole use. Why it's called as hardy hole? Hardy means one type of bottom chisel used in this hole in the forging section. So it is called as a hardy hole. Okay. Pitcher hole means punching operation are performed through this hole. Punching means to make a hole. If you want to make a hole on the surface of on the job on the sheet metals, so through this hole you can make it. So heel is if you want to bend a 90 degree sheet, then it will support the body and waist. So all things here. Okay. Now, so anvil is many main supporting tools in our sheet metal sections. So next tool name, look, the name is Snipe. Snipe is a cutting tools. It has two cutting jaw, not bolt are fixed here, the losing and tightening. Spring are here fixed, and two handles are clipped by rubbers. So when you cut some sheet, so there you use this type of instrument for the cutting of sheet purpose, not paper. So cutting tools in the sheet metal section, which type of cutting tools you will use? Snipe. Okay. This tool is cutting thin metals or sheet before after marking according to the job. It's made of steel and it is cutting the blade and iron tempered. So very hard, and both ends are very hard sometimes because you are cutting a sheet. That sheet is made of iron or GI, etc. So sheet is very hard. So how you cut? If it's very strong, this cutting is very strong. So through this instrument, we can cut our sheet before after preparation. After preparation means if you want to completion after the completer, you will get some error is there, some trip. If you want to some trimming operation, so through the instrument you can cut that one. Next, here is a mallet. Look, this mallet means it is one type of wooden hammer. So it's called as a mallet. This kind of instrument is available in the sheet metal, and also if you want to see this instrument, your carpenter are use this type of hammer, and basically it is available in court में आप लोगों ने देखा होगा. So judge जब strike karte, this type of hammer, wooden hammer, kind of wooden hammer is used. The name is mallet. Okay, so I will use mallet instead of hammer. The mallet is for the light striking purpose, because our sheet is a very thin surface or thin thickness. So if you use heavy blow, heavy impact on the surface of sheet, the surface will be irregular and will bend. So if you make a straight surface of a sheet, there you use mallet. Otherwise, you will use the hammer. So here you look, this is a hammer. This hammer name is ball pen hammer. You look, this surface name is ball, and this is pen or face. इसको face बोलते हैं, इसको pen बोलते हैं. And this one is a handle. Okay, this hole name is eye hole, where handle is fixed, and this both part is called as neck, and this area is called as check. So this is a ball pen hammer, which is called a ball pen hammer. So now through this ball pen hammer you can make a rivet or एक circular shape को striking करने के लिए आप pin करना. Okay, so flat surface striking purpose, the face is used. So a hammer is tools means delivers an impact and to the object. Okay, object means here if you are using the sheet, there the directly you can deliver the impact on the sheet. The common most of the uses hammer is driving nails, feet parts, pose metals, etc. But here you will apply for the bending purpose. Okay, so many types of hammer is available in the workshop. The one name is this: the ball pin, cross pin, straight pin, claw. Different hammer is available, but you will use only this type of hammer. Okay, so now next tools name. Look, here the many different figure is here, and also the hammer, different hammer is here. So here this is stake. Stake means it is a supporting tools. Supporting tools means here your sheet is always the flat surface and the plane. So if you want to make this give some shape to a sheet, so how with your support you can make it? So with the help of supporting tools you can prepare. Suppose if we have prepared a funnel by the sheet. Sheet is a flat surface. So how will prepare a funnel? Through the funnel stake we will keep here our sheet and we'll apply the pressure by the hammering machines. So according to the shape of stake we will get a shape of sheet, that's called as funnel. Another square, if you want to prepare a square, then you use square stake. So according to uses, according to the requirement, you will use the stake. So simply stake is a supporting tool. So if to give the shape to metal sheet, it is used. Okay, next we look at the flyer. So flyer means one type of holding device. Basically we call as the electrician flyer. Because electrician use this type of plier for the wire cutting, tightening or not wires, etc. Here we also use this type of plier. Suppose some small edge if have to bend, so it's not possible by the hammer you bend it. So through the plier you can bend it, and also you can hold the sheet. Also you can hold the sheet during the soldering operation, because due to soldering operation the heat will be hot, because the heat, some amount of heat are applied there during soldering, because the soldering iron will produce the heat will melt the solder. Okay, so this is a holding device. Really the plier is a holding device. Next you look, this one is soldering iron. You look the soldering iron, is the tip pins here will connect a solder, and here is a coil is available, and when you insert a plug with the electric current, the coil will generate the heat, and the heat will help to melt a wire. The wire name is solder. Then we start the soldering operation. The soldering iron is a hand tool. It is soldering. It is supplied heat to melt the solder. So that is a can flow into the joint between two workpieces. Which two parts we have to join? That liquid will drop the both part, and the liquid will hold the both part. So it is soldering operation is actually the temporary joining process. Once again, if you apply the heat on the both same places, the joint will be open. But so welding is a permanent joining process. Okay. So if anybody has any doubts, because after this slide, our tools equipment parts is over. Next, we will go to our experimental parts. So, I request you, if anybody has any doubts, if you any confused, so you can ask me. I will try to explain once again. Okay, clear? We'll go to next step, next slide.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So now we look aim of the experiment, sheet metal sections. What is the aim of the experiment? Inner lathe section means turning section. What was the aim of the experiment? Somebody tell. You don't know? आएगा में पूछ सकते हैं आपको याद रखो
To prepare a cylindrical job of multiple lathe operation.
Thank you very much. This is another experiment. But here there is a multiple operation, but here not an operation name. Here is some project name, means some product name. Yeah, look. Aim of the experiment name is to prepare a square tray. Square tray. Our experiment name is square tray. We have to prepare a tray which size is square tray. Okay. So for this experiment, we have required raw materials. So that raw material name is GI sheet. I told you first GI required for our experiment. So GI, GI means galvanized iron sheet. So sizes of the sheet means the raw materials is 100 millimeter into 100 millimeter. Means here cross sectional area is 100 by 100 per piece, and that thickness should be 24 SWG. SWG means standard wear gauge. If you convert in millimeter, then you follow the gauge motion table, you will get the value is 0.555 millimeter, means half millimeter thickness of that sheet. So you have required a sheet which dimension is following. Next, solder. You have required a solder. Solder means here alloy type of metal. This will look like a white color wire type, very softened. So somebody is called as electrician solder. So it's basically composition of tin and lead. This metal is composition of tin and lead. 65 and 35% is composition. It is like a filler metal. During the soldering operation, this solder wire will connect with the soldering iron. So soldering iron will produce the heat and they will help to melt the solder. So solder liquid will drop the particular place which part you have to join. Okay, so after the solidification, the joining will be strong. Next, flux. Flux is used for the flux means here name is zinc chloride is ZnCl is called as flux. A brown color before soldering will use a particular area because it will help to protect the oxidation to the body. Another things and it will separate the impurity during the soldering operation. Okay, so clear. So now following raw materials we have required for this experiment. Next, tools required. Tool means here Already we have discussed about the tools, all the tools. So some tools name is here, steel rule, trash square, scriber, mallet, hammer, straight knife. Straight knife means that figure you watched. The name is knife, straight knife. Actually, knife is two types of knife is the sheet metal section. One is straight and another is bent. So if you cut some circular shape, concave, convex area, so there will be bent knife. Otherwise, always use straight knife. Square tray. So square tray, why you use? Now because our experiment name is square tray. You have to prepare a square tray. So square tray is required for the giving of shape to a sheet in a square shape. Anvil, vice also holding device, and fryer and soldering iron. Following tools required for us. Next, operation involved. So from the first we studied, so many operation is there. So following here one of them, the first is a measuring and marking operation. Next is a blanking operation. Then is notching and bending and joining operation. Okay. Look, so this following operation we have to perform: measuring, marking, blanking, notching, bending, and joining. Here layout of the job. Yes, look, two diagrams here. One is layout, another is completed tray. Look, this partition area is 25 because your sheet is overall 100 millimeter into 100 millimeter. You have to divide in your marking through the marking. So here 25 millimeter. This rectangle distance is 25, and then 50 and 25. Same here, 25, 50, 25. And this cutting angles means this angle is 45 degree angles, and this trapezium distance 50 line to onward, both sides, left and right side, is 8 millimeter. So first we will collect a sheet, unknown size of sheet, then we cut for the blanking, and you will prepare a workpiece that size should be 100 millimeter, 100 millimeter. Then you will draw the lines after the marking. Then you cut by through the notching operation. Notching is one type of trimming type of operation, and remove the unwanted sheet from the area, and you have prepared a layout. After preparation of layout, you look 1, 2, 3, 4 corner. The base sizes is 50 into 50 millimeter base size, and height of the tray is means the wall height is 25 millimeter. Look, 4 rectangle is here, big square is here. The big square means the base of the tray. That base should be 50 into 50. Height of the tray should be 25 into 25 millimeter. And this 8 millimeter trapezium is used for the locking purpose. After the folding, if you want to lock this tray, then you fold the 8 millimeter trapezium. You get like this. So this is a completed tray. Look, so base area is 15 to 50, it is 25 millimeter. Is it clear? The job layout. Next, look, safety precaution. Safety is a must required, because without safety you can't do anything in our lab or shop anywhere. First you will shape, then you start our work. So here some of safety will follow from the sheet metal section. Basically, always wear gloves to avoid injury to hand by the sharp edge of corner of cut piece of sheet. So here gloves is most necessary, because you use a sheet, so thickness is very sharp, so like as a knife. So be careful for that, because we are cutting and bending operation by the hand. So without glove you use, so your hand or finger will cut, your hand will cut. So it's a dangerous thing for you. So for that reason, you use the gloves, hand gloves during the seat mirror section. Work in the with the seat mirror section. Okay. Next, hammering or punching other or similar striking operation. Hammering, punching, other similar. Similar means if you are starting some striking purpose, so don't use the surface plate. Surface plate means one type of plate, means flattened surface plate is there, because it is very brittle. So if you strike directly on the surface plate, your surface plate will be broken or cracked. So for that reason, instead of surface plate, you will use all the operation, you will perform all the operation on the surface of anvil, not surface plate. So clear? Next, to avoid the electric shock during the soldering operation, don't use use non-conducting holding tools. So here, some of before slide, you will look a plier is there. So plier is the best thing for the non-conducting holding tools, because both hand are created by rubbers, plastic. So during the soldering operation, you will use a plier. Next, always use tongue. After the completion of holding, after the completion or during the holding of a hot materials, especially in the soldering operation, during the soldering operation, we will use the tongue. Tongue is a holding device. Okay, so it is better for you and for your hands. So now, after the simplification, next, wait a second. So please do yes. So actually जो स्क्रीन आउट करिकी मैं वीडियो नहीं मतलब प्रोसीजर पार्ट आउ हम प्रोसीजर पार्ट तापरे वीडियो काम करनी Okay. Hello. Okay. So is it audible, dear student?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now look, this is a procedure, means step by step what will you do? Means the first you collect a sheet which dimension is 100 by 100. So mark and cut a piece of GI sheet as per given dimension. Given dimension means your sheet should be 100 by 100 millimeter. The place it on the anvil and straighten. Straighten means during the cutting of sheet, the sheet edges should be maybe bent. So that time, if you want to make it straighten, you keep it on the anvil surface and through the mallet or hammer, you make it straighten. Then lay out the required tray. It's given by drawing. Make it on the table and check the dimension properly. Always check the dimension properly, because 1 millimeter will be defect will be defect for your experiment. So always check the dimension. Cut away the unwanted metal sheet from the metal piece, means after the marking, if you want cut by the notching operations, those are means just like it is a trimming type operation. So and you remove and you prepare as again straighten after the cutting, and then using the suitable stake, it's a hammer, you bend the surface. So all the things of the procedure will step by step is the video is here. You watch carefully and know. Check the squareness and of all the bend side and then the squareness. If you after the completion after the bending you will get this, your sheet is square by your tray is perfect square, then you apply the soldering operation. The following step procedure step will follow. Okay, so now so what kind of tools, measuring and marking tools you have required on you know. So first steel rule, tri-square and marker is required. Then snipe, sorry, the first operation. We'll discuss about the first operation. Yeah. So blanking operation. Look, blanking operation means is one type of cutting operation. If you cut some sheet is from a larger piece, suppose it's a you look, this is a large piece of sheet, but you have required a sheet which is dimension 100 into 100 millimeter. So after the cutting, you get this area as a blank. So it is called as a blanking operation. So blanking means you only will cut a required size of sheet from a larger piece. So cutting piece is by the help of two things, or die or a snipe, you can cut it. So also is through the die you can make a punching, or punching you make a hole on a sheet. Okay, so here, so for the blanking operation is generally prepared by a tools. That name is snipe. Okay, so next step, next operation name is notching operation. So it will be better. First we will watch the video step by step, then we'll discuss our operation, because operation is related with the work procedure. So work procedure name step by step, work procedure name is operations. Okay, so first you look, I'll showing this video. So here notching operation means here some type of trimming type operation. Suppose this one is a sheet. If you cut some angle edges by the knife, is called as notching operations. Okay, bending, same thing, is a bending operation. If you want to look a bending operation, this is a bending operation. Look, so through the steel rule, plier, hammer, angle, bench wise, you can bend the sheet as per your desire, will degree angles. Okay. So now after the bending operation, next you look, this is a soldering operation. I will perform a soldering operation. You look, the left side, this side is soldering iron, and this one is solder. Solder means is tin and lead alloy percentage is 65 and 35. When both are connected with this area, which part you have to join, there will connect, and the liquid will drop on the surface, and after the solidification, the area will join. So once again, if you want to open this area, once again you apply the heat, the liquid will melt and joining is open. So okay, the joining operation is used to two or more pieces metals. Basically, the joining operation is here, soldering, welding, brazing, adhesive bonding, etc. So soldering is one of them. So soldering is a low temperature joining process. Low temperature joining process. It's a temporary joining process. Okay. So what are instrument or tools are used here? Now, soldering iron, solder flux, and For the holding purpose, we'll use a plier or tongue. Okay. So now the theory part is completed. If you want, if anybody has any doubt, any questions, then you ask me. Next part will go to our video chapter. Is that clear? अरे कुछ तो बोलो.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? आपका कोई डाउट है, कुछ भी है थ्योरी के ऊपर कुछ?
No, sir.
No, sir. So now we'll go to our video. Then video आप देखो. So watch carefully. If in between any doubt, any questions, you can ask me. Okay. So I think so. Theory part is over. What is sorry? So which question नहीं doubt नहीं. The video part start करूँ ताकि क्या है? No better watching. Discuss करिए. कोई जो
Okay, students, now we'll show you the recorded videos regarding your experiment on sheet metal work section. So let us have the first videos, isn't it? All of you have understood the matter and the theory regarding your sheet metal works, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
yes sir.
So I am going to start the first video.
Introduction.
The video is visible?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Welcome to KIT Bms Lab section. Today we have to prepare something according to our instructions.
छोटे ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ
in an induction sheet, we have to prepare a square tray using a GI sheet. So first thing, sheet, GI sheet. Sheet means here a metal plate or tissue matter whose thickness is less than 4 millimeter and large size of cross section area. So overall, less thickness and large size cross section area is known as sheet. So here we have to prepare a tray using a sheet, GIC. GI means galvanized iron sheet, a type of material. So you follow the instruction sheet here. Our raw material is GI sheet with dimension is 100 millimeter into 100 millimeter, and the thickness should be 24 SWG. So SWG stands for standard wear gauge. Standard wear gauge is using for checking the thickness of the material, metal sheet. So here, this is our raw material, which name is GI sheet, galvanized iron sheet. So first thing, another raw material is here available for us. One is solder, means electrician solder. So composition of this material is T and lead. This is alloy material. 65% T and 35% lead. Another is flux. Flux is one type of paste. It is used during the soldering operation. It's called as G chloride. So now, tools and equipment. What kind of tools and equipment required for this experiment? So basically, the first thing is steel rule. Steel rule is a measuring tool. So checking the dimension of different angles or different positions, we have to use this type of tool. So made of stainless steel. So minimum accuracy of this scale is 0.5 millimeter. Now, after the measuring tools, next tool's name is tri-square. So checking for the right angle. Tri-square is used for the right angle checking purpose. Next, cutting tools. So basically here our cutting tools, the name of this cutting tool is Snipe, the straight Snipe. It's used for cutting purpose of sheet. Now, striking tools, two types of striking tools is here available. One is mallet, another is hammer. So mallet is a type of wooden hammer. It's a light striking purpose, a light blow purpose it is used. Because sheet is a very thin, that time we can use this type of tools. Now hammer also is a striking tools for the bending purpose it is used. Next, holding device. Basically main holding device is here available. One is a plier, another is a bench vise. So bench vise, this one is called as bench vise or vise. It has many parts. It open through the spindle. It's a two jaw is here. One is fixed jaw, another is a movable jaw. Which one will move, then called as movable jaw. Two jaw, and this one is called as, here is a supporting tools, main tools here. Every type of what, like the bending, cutting, shaping, all the things you can do on the surface of these tools. The tool's name is anvil. The anvil has main is a mid part is the top is called as face, is a horn and a stand. So here, now next, this one is soldering iron. Soldering iron is used for joining process. It is an electrician soldering machine through the operator electric current. And next is overall tools we will use for this experiment. Thank you.
So video is over.
Okay. So students, you have seen this video. Any query on this? Do you want to ask anything on this? Students?
Yes, sir.
Bolo. If you want to ask, tell me.
No, sir.
Okay. So let me ask you one recap question over here. What is SWG?
Standard wire gauge.
And why it is needed? What is the purpose of SWG?
To measure the thickness.
Measure the thickness of
Metal sheet.
metal sheet or sheet metal, isn't it? So can anybody define what is a sheet metal? Metals are there, but which metals we will call as sheet metal?
So ranges between 10 to 30. Ranges between 10 to 30 millimeter.
Any better answer?
Whose area of cross section is more and the thickness is between 10 to 30 SWG.
Thickness is very less than cross section.
Okay, you are saying thickness is less or metal.
Sir, it can be formed into flat pieces.
So you are giving a relative statement actually here, Robert. So is there any fixed numerical data regarding these materials to identify in your search, like any ratio or any amount? Likewise, if it is there, so can you tell that one? Yes. So all of you got my question, isn't it? So thickness can vary significantly, isn't it? Thickness can be of 1 centimeter, thickness can be of 12 centimeter. So if 1 centimeter, 12 centimeter thickness material I am considering, can I call it sheet metal in any way? Or I cannot name it as sheet metal if thickness is 1 centimeter. Is there any rule? Do you know? Anybody? So basically in this regard I will say that there is no certain rule by or a certain ratio by which we can measure a material size and tell that this is a sheet metal. Okay, so basically hereover we have to consider what is the surface area of the material and what is the thickness. The surface area and the thickness, these two are the things considering which we can name a piece of workpiece or a piece of raw material to be a sheet metal or not. Okay, so in general condition, the pieces thicker than 6 mm are considered plate steel. Okay, pieces thicker than 6 mm, that is almost quarter inch, are considered the plate steel or the structural steel. Okay, and less than that we will be considering it as sheet metal. Okay, understood? And basically and basically your common steel sheet metals ranges about 30 gauge to 7 gauge. That is your SWG, standard wear gauge, 30 gauge to 7 gauge. Okay, so do you have an idea about what is this SWG, what is this measurement? Sir has given anything, any idea about SWG? Yes or no? So I have just now made a Google search over here, and let me show you the result. This one. Okay, all of you can see this one. 1 SWG, 3 SWG, 4 SWG, standard wear gauge. Okay, and this 1 SWG is equivalent to 7.620 mm. Okay, and this is 0.3 inch. 0.3 inch. These are the inches, and by side it is in the mm. So this metric system of measurement you are very acquainted with, isn't it? Now this SWG system of measuring the thickness of sheet metals or grading the sheet metals, this is new to you. So you have to know all about this. 1 SWG is your 7.620 mm. Okay. Next you see on 3 SWG the thickness is 6.401. So the matrix in metric system the thickness is reduced, isn't it? Have you marked it? The thickness is reduced.
Yes, sir.
So likewise, if you go on increasing on SWG, now let us take this 6 SWG. On 6 SWG, the thickness is now 4.877 mm. Okay. Likewise, next if we move to 16 SWG, 16 standard wear gauge or 16 gauge plate sheet metal, then the thickness reduces more and it becomes to 1.626. So what is the conclusion out of over here?
As the screw gauge increases, the or decreases.
Okay, that's good. So very nice observation I can say here over. So here over we conclude that higher the SWG number, lower will be the thickness, isn't it? And this SWG will go up to what value?
21.
30. Okay, so these are the sheets you can see here over. Let me bring this in a bigger page. Okay, let's see if we move to, yes. The letters are visible, students?
Sir, can you little zoom it? Sir, click on that page, sir.
Okay, I have tried. Now let us see.
Sir, because you are sharing a tab, sir.
Now, is this visible?
Sir, share another tab, sir.
Share another tab.
Yes, sir, because you are sharing.
Okay. This has been changed to another tab, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me do that. Top.
Sir, what about 10 mm wire out at screw gauge?
You will see 10 mm not considered as a sheet metal in general. Okay, but in case if we are making some products for titans, then definitely the surface area will be very high, and a titan kind structure like we can call it as a sheet metal. But considering what kind of analytical region we are focusing upon, okay, so based upon that or considering that, we will be actually relatively giving the definition of a sheet metal.
And sir, what
Okay.
is the American wire gauge? It in that it difference with
Okay, now
AWG and SW.
okay, we'll come to that later. So now all of you can see this one.
Yes, sir.
The picture is clear and bigger.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here over you see this here over. Where is that? Okay, so over here the gauze is over here. You can see up to over here from 0 to 46, isn't it? The gauze is
Yes, sir.
about 0 to 46 standard wear gauge, SWG data in mm and inches. Okay, so in inches in the middle column, in inches the data are, and the data on the third column is in mm, and in the first column it is in the gauge. Okay, so basically when you prepare some products out of sheet metals like your almirahs, boxes, treasuries, isn't it? So such kind of products you make out of this sheet metal, isn't it? So in general, if I'll say almirahs made of steel sheet metal are basically used in each and every households. Yes or no? Almirahs?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You might have listened or you must have heard about the strength of a almirah. People used to say what is the gauge of the sheet metal with which this almirah is made of. Basically, some shopkeepers say this is 18 gauge material, some say this is 20 gauge material, this is 22 gauge material, likewise. So if you heard of that term, that can be now considered over here. So anybody heard this gauge or gauge word said by some of the shopkeepers in your almirah store or likewise? Have you heard it earlier, students? This term gauge? Yes or no? Anybody? Not heard ever?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, if anybody have heard, then that is useful because now you will understand that this gauge stands for thickness of the sheet metal, the metallic piece, and as you go on increasing, if you increase the standard wear gauge value, then definitely the thickness is reduced. Thickness in metric system, that is being reduced. Okay, so standard wear gauge of a sheet metal for which we manufacture a box or a almirah, that ranges from 16 gauge to 24 gauges. Okay, and very light boxes, makeup boxes, and very much other box products, metallic box products are in the range of 24 gauge to 30 gauge. Okay, so with this range of materials, sheet metal standard gauge values, the products are being made. Okay, and if you reduce the gauge value, like if you go to gauge value less than 10, the thickness will be very much high, and those will be definitely for industrial product production purpose. Okay, so now so we have a little bit of understanding about the sheet metal over here. Now let us have the second video. So any more query on this, students? Any more query?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So
Sir, attendance.
For attendance.
One more video we'll see today, and then we'll put the attendance.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So next video is about measuring and marking. Okay, so let us see that one.
So now,
Presenting this. Okay, video is shared.
for this experiment, we got
Audio is good, students? Audio is good?
Yes, sir. Audio is good, sir.
Yes, sir.
But echoing, sir.
Echo is there?
Yes, sir. You will, if you will if you mute your or
Okay,
mute
okay.
your voice. Yes.
Okay, during the video I will mute myself.
aim of the experiment. Second is raw material, hard tools and equipment. Next step of this experiment is procedure. So procedure means different type of operation will be here. So now the first operation, the first step is here. The name is measuring and marking. So what is meaning of measuring and marking? Before doing anything or any type of work, so measuring and marking is necessary in the first basic point. So here, this is our sheet. On the sheet, we first, according to the instruction of the instruction sheet by drawing sheet, we have to measure and mark according to the dimension. So what is the dimension here? 100 millimeter into 100 millimeter area we have to require. So first we check it is 100 or not. Then we have produced the 100 to 100 millimeter material. So now it's above the 100 millimeter, and we check it's 100 above the 100 millimeter. So now we have to mark it with a proper direction. Proper direction means our experiment name is to prepare a square tray. For the square tray, we have required a square sheet. So we have got the material according to instruction, and it should be a square. Square means each side should be right angle. How we will check a right angle? Now this tool, the name is tri-square. Through this tool, we can check a right angle. So first, you take any side of the materials out of four sides. So which one is straight? That side you keep. It has two parts. One is beam, another is blade. You first mark A, B, C, D. It's a four side. First you remark is the origin point, means reference side, like A. Then you put your tri-square like this. Any position you can put it. Then you simply A is a constant. You draw a line. Okay. So now A is the origin, means is the reference side. It has no lines. So this line name is B. Okay. Now A and B is a 90 degree now. According measure now. That's right. So now A and B is now right angle. So you have to require 100 into 100 millimeter sheet. So B2 Anwar, you mark a point on the left side. Which distance is 100 millimeter. Take 2 points for the straight line. Okay. So this is 2 points. You have to join now these 2 points like this. And once you also check, you can check it, is a right angle or not. Now see, it's a right angle perfectly. So this is A, B, and this point is, this line is D. Okay. Now one side is your pending, A2 and 1. Distance, which distance is 100 millimeter. You make a point A. Point B. Then you connect each other, the point, then you get C. You see here, A, B, C, D. Area. This area is 100 into 100 out of this material. You have to cut it, this material, and find out our raw material for the experiment.
So students, all of you have learned how the measuring has been started. So all of you have your job diagram, isn't it? All of you have drawn the job diagram? Students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So prior to this video, all of you, I expect all of you have your job diagram, isn't it? In the slide, so in the PPT discussion, sir must have shown you the job diagram.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, have you drawn that job diagram?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir, not now.
Okay, so what I am doing now, I am showing you the job diagram. You draw the job diagram in between, and I will be taking the attendance by side. Okay?
Sir, today only we have to submit that.
No. This is not the submission requirement. If you do not understand the job diagram, then how can you understand the total sheet metal work?
Yes, sir. Yes.
They are cutting, how they are cutting. Okay, without measurement,
Yes.
the understanding will be less fruitful, isn't it? So, I am presenting this job diagram. Okay, job diagram is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's left. Is it clear?
Sir, this which one? Both we have to draw.
No, this geometry
Okay,
diagram.
sir. Okay,
3D
sir.
diagram.
Okay,
You
sir.
can 3D diagram you can draw. That is also not tough. Both diagrams you draw. That will be beneficial. Okay, because the second diagram is the final outcome. Okay, and the first diagram is the only the layout of the job. So with this marking, you have to first of all cut the whole material. Then you have to fold those material parts, and you have to form the second diagram picture as a product. Okay.
Sir, we have to draw according to the measurements given.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
These numbers should be with you. This 25, 50.
Sir, we can do prototype now, sir. We can draw as prototype and we will just put the number. Okay.
This is for your reference only. So while discussion and the learning of the entire sheet metal operations, so that you can, these diagrams you can take as reference, and you will understand why and where the cuts are being made, and whether those are useful or not, and you will definitely learn. Okay, so these diagrams will be the reference for your learning. Understood? So how you draw and how better you draw, that is up to you. That is up to your handwork. So accordingly you do. Okay. So in between, let me take your attendances.
knowledge है. She likes to.
सर दोनों डायग्राम्स बनाने.
Yes.
तो इस डायग्राम को बनाने के बाद अपने पास रखेंगे, सबमिट भी करना है सर?
नहीं, अपने पास ही रखो.
ओके सर. सर मिनिमाइज हो गया सर.
मिनिमाइज हो गया.
ये सब लाइव.
ओके. एक मिनट. अभी ठीक है.
नहीं सर, अभी नहीं, मतलब सर अभी नहीं हुआ, लेकिन हम लोग बना ही लिए हैं सर उसको।
ओके, किसी का बाकी है?
यस सर।
सर क्या
बाकी
हुआ? फिर से रिपीट कीजिए सर।
हाँ सर, अब हो गया सर, अब शेयर हो रहा है।
ओके
ये सर अब सर।
ठीक, करो। Okay, now respond your attendance. Samriddhi, absent. Satyaprakash,
Yes sir.